Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why you were the last to know. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So I'll jump right into it. You were the last to know that you were in a relationship with a narcissist, and why you were the last to know. There's a long list of reasons. The first one would be because perhaps you did not know what narcissism was. You did not know what you were up against. Most likely that was the case. You knew that this person was displaying poor behavior, strange behavior, experiencing some of the most toxic abuse on the planet. That's what you did. You went through it, but you kept fighting, you kept working for the relationship. And despite that, you could never put your finger on what was wrong with this individual. Then you found my channel, boom, you get your first light bulb moment, and here you are. You're going down the rabbit hole, the exploratory path on the narcissistic abusive cycle. That's what we all do when we find that needle in a haystack. But that's one reason why you were the last to know. Another reason is, think about the immediate family members. Many times these people know that the narcissist is a narcissist. Now, do they have the label? Maybe not. But do they know that that person likes disruption, drama, confusion, manipulation, lies, untruths, partial truths, etc.? Yes, they do. And many times these family members will do one of a few things. One, when they identify that the person is a narcissist, they will run for the hills. In other words, they will move themselves far away and separate themselves from the poor behavior, because perhaps they are an empath, or they have figured it out that being anywhere near those people, even if they're siblings, spouses, aunts, uncles, whomever, that's not good, because you need your peace of mind. You need to live your life. That's one reason. Another reason is because these individuals, they themselves could be toxic. And then there you go. Now you have the beehive mentality. Everyone is just cannibalizing each other. It just so happened you got in a relationship with a narcissist, and their family members knew it, and they won't tell you anything about it because they're watching the drama from the sidelines. They're probably actually creating the drama for you many times too. Think about it. It's not just the narcissist, although that's the individual you're thinking about right now as I create this video. If the narcissist had toxicity, not just within themselves, but within other family members, those family members will not come out and tell you, because this is when they say to themselves, wow, a third husband already, or a fifth husband, whatever it is. Forget the number of husbands or wives, but maybe another relationship. And their family members are saying, okay, here we go. Let's see what this one, what's going to happen with this one, how long this one will last, what we can take from this one. Think about it. It's exactly what happens. And you were the last to know. You didn't figure this out until, again, you found that needle in a haystack. Another reason why you were the last to know is because maybe your friends, or maybe somebody tipped you off and said, hey, I think the person you're with, there's some concerns there. You may want to, and maybe they gave you a book or turned you on to my YouTube channel or something like that. And you watched a video or you read some chapters in a book, and then you said, yeah, that's really challenging, but that's not who I'm with. There's no way that they wouldn't do that. They can't do that, or they're not that bad. In other words, you weren't ready to receive the message yet. You weren't ready to be honest and authentic with yourself, that in fact you were in a relationship that was a one-way relationship to Destructionsville, i.e. a narcissistic relationship. So that could be another reason why you were the last to know. Other times are very simple. You don't know what you're up against, as I mentioned previously in the video, and you don't want to quit on the relationship. So many times people will block things out. Not the narcissist. They live their own little Hollywood script. But individuals that are with the narcissist, what they do is they get so numb and so beaten down that they think to themselves that they can change the narcissist, or that they're going to get one day out of the month that's going to be a good day that will make up for all the poor behavior days, the 29 days out of the month. Or that they don't want to face the music and say, yeah, actually this person really does have problems. Or that they believe that this person who you're thinking about has had a very challenging childhood, or maybe they were a victim, or they had difficulties. In other words, people sometimes stay in these relationships because they don't know how to get out of them, and they're not being honest and authentic with themselves. Now, you on the channel, you're getting the wisdom. My hope is that you have removed yourself from the narcissistic relationship, or are considering doing so. In your time, this will be the path. You will have a mountain of work ahead of you. You'll have to process things, including childhood wounds. You'll have to figure out exactly why you stayed in the relationship, how you got in the relationship, the lessons to be learned throughout the relationship and post-relationship. Then you'll have to incorporate boundaries. You will have to stop being a people pleaser or putting people high on a pedestal. You will have to learn to say the magic word and the strongest word in the English language, which is no, etc. There are a lot of things that you will need to do, but why you were the last one to know? Think about it. Let's say you were in love with the narcissist. Okay, well, first of all, were they in love with you? No, they weren't. Number two, as soon as you, as I mentioned frequently on the channel, as soon as you moved in with them or told them that you loved them or loaned them money or bought them fancy things, whatever you did, things like that, or relocated halfway around the globe, that's when they knew they had you, and that's when most likely the devaluation stage began. But by that point, maybe you saw the red flags and you ignored them and you didn't trust your instincts or intuition. I get it. I understand. My point is, when you do one of the aforementioned things, it's a big step for you. It's a big step for anybody. And that's when the narcissist applies the heat. They press on the gas pedal more and more. And when that happens, it's too late for you many times, because you've already committed, you've already made a decision, you've already gone into business with them or put the wedding ring on or done whatever you're doing. It's too late. In other words, you reach the point of no return. It is an extremely strong individual who, after they made a life-changing decision, let's say you got married or moved or something like that, that has the power or the wherewithal to leave the narcissist. It really is. But if that's one of you, drop comments below. Or if any of those things happened to you, or maybe they all did, drop comments below. Share your wisdom with the newbies and with the community. Pay it forward. That's what we should be doing. But why were you the last to know? You were the last to know. Again, the number one reason, which I already mentioned twice, you weren't taught narcissism in school. You didn't know what to look for. You didn't know what the signs were. What you knew is that this individual was being one person out to the general public, meaning that's when they would bat their eyelashes and put on a perma smile and laugh at anything and triangulate you and invalidate you, although you didn't know what was going on back then and other people didn't know what it was either. They just saw, all the people on the exterior saw the game face of the narcissist. They saw the mask. But when it was behind closed doors, or like when you two were alone, many times that's when you would endure the abuse. And that's the cycle. That's the narcissistic cycle. It's wash, rinse, repeat. It's draw you in. It is get you in a soft, safe space where you're feeling comfortable, so you put your guard down. Then boom, they hammer you, rage fit, gaslighting, stonewalling, silent treatment, whatever they want to do. Then you tolerate it and you're like, what is this? I don't get it. Then there's a few days of reprieve, or a couple days or weeks, whatever it's going to be, a period of time where you're just like really, you're being silenced and you're trying to process what's going on and you're walking around on eggshells. And then the narcissist is loving this because now you're not your happy self. You're not your authentic, beautiful, genuine self. And then what do they do after that? They wait a couple days, and then after you apologize for their poor behavior, or you step up and say, hey, let's work on things, and you know what, I thought about it, I was wrong, I think you're right. Whenever, in other words, whenever you give in to the narcissist, because at that point, it is a war of attrition. Someone's got to give in, and I can assure you, every single time, you're the one that gave in. And then that's when the narcissist said, okay, I can work with this, no problem. They're coming back to me again. And then boom, they give you a little bit of euphoria for maybe an hour, maybe a day, maybe a weekend. And then boom, devaluation all over again. Or the poor behavior, however you want to explain it. That's just a mini version of what goes on in these relationships. And it's a cycle though. It goes on day after day, week after week, month after month, decade after decade, until you remove yourself from the relationship. Now, having said all these things, why you were the last to know, think about it. Many people saw the behavior, let's say, of the narcissist. They saw them behaving one way to you and another way to them when it was just the two of them. Believe me when I tell you. But now, are they going to go to you and tell you, hey, your spouse is treating me a little differently when you're not around? Like, you may want to look into that. Of course they're not. Why are they not coming to you and saying things like that? One, because they don't want to have you not believe them, and that will create a rift, and the next thing you know, you two aren't talking. That could be a reason. Number two, maybe they're actually enjoying the secret attention that the narcissist was giving that person, if you get my point. And the third reason is because they could be a narcissist themselves. Very simple. But this is what happens. So let's zoom out for a minute. Let's say that you're at a get-together, an event, whatever, and a family get-together with extended family members and their friends, and just it's an open invitation. Anyone can show up. And then you're looking around at the narcissist. Let's say it's in the summertime, whatever. They say there's like 50 people there, whatever. You're looking at the narcissist batting their eyelashes, getting a little too close to individuals that you don't even know. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I'm the spouse here. what's going on here? I don't get this. And you watch it throughout the whole event, and it happens on and off, and other people that the newbies, the people that are getting the special attention, they are loving it. They're gobbling it up because, wow, someone's actually paying attention to me. They don't even care if the person's married or not. They're just flirting is what they're doing. But what's the narcissist doing? Again, triangulating you right in front of everybody, and they're invalidating you, devaluing your relationship, not caring about you. But despite that, what would you do when you would go home? You would maybe say something, maybe like, hey, I noticed you were giving a little extra attention to these people. What's going on? And then boom, I told you you're jealous. I can't do anything. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to anything again with you ever. What are you thinking? What are you talking about? Or then they would blame you. Well, you weren't even around. What are you talking about? You left me alone. What do you want me to do? In other words, you can never get anywhere with the narcissist. There's no such thing as an intelligent conversation. You're never going to make any progress. All you're going to get is the finger being pointed back at you because everything is your fault. You're to be blamed. But why you were the last to know is another reason is because perhaps you just didn't want to face the music. You knew that the relationship was on rocky ground. It was on quicksand, a house of cards, and it was getting worse and worse over time, but you didn't want to face the music. You didn't want to say to yourself, wow, this is really not good. It's like, how can I change this? Every time I try to change it, the person I'm speaking to, i.e. the narcissist, claims that they want to improve, but they don't. Their actions don't match their words. That's exactly what happens with the narcissist because they don't care about improving anything. All they care about is destroying things. And again, the longer you are in these narcissistic relationships, the less value you have to the narcissist. Why I say that is because you are now becoming worn out. Your resources are becoming depleted. Your social circle, your status, your money, your physical health, certainly your mental health. The people that you surround yourselves with have most likely had a wedge driven between them and you. Maybe you're isolated, etc. Maybe you lost your job, who knows? But the point is, the clock is ticking on these narcissistic relationships, and it's ticking against both you and the narcissist. It's ticking against you because your relationship had an expiration date, and or it has one, whether you know it or not. It's just when the narcissist is going to discard you, or when you're going to figure it out and hopefully be strong enough to exit it. Or the third reason is you'll stay in the narcissistic fog, trapped in the zombie-like trance-like state with the narcissist, and that's no way to be living your life. But the clock is ticking for the narcissist always, in a different way. Why? Because they're on this game. Like, they call life a game, and they want to get as many sources of supply as possible. They can't get sources fast enough. That's why so many times, whether you were married or not, you thought that it was just the two of you together. No, there were many people behind the scenes, many people in front of the scenes that you may not have even suspected, but believe me, they were there. Trust me when I tell you. And that's not even counting social media, all the sites, dating sites or apps. I'm not going to mention what they are, but those things are littered with sources of supply for the narcissist. Think about it. So why you were the last to know? It's because you probably didn't know what narcissism was, number one. Number two, you thought that you could fight your way through this relationship and it would work. It was destined to fail. The third reason is because you believed in the wedding vows you took, perhaps. Well, you did, but the narcissist didn't, I can assure you of that. And the number one reason why you were the last to know is because there is no chance ever that you were supposed to figure this out. You weren't, but you found the needle in a haystack and you got the wisdom, or you were getting the wisdom on my channel. Remember, the narcissist, let's say they discarded you. They never thought that you would pick yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off, and live your best life. They did not, I can assure you. And right now, as you're watching the video and I'm creating it, you're beginning to enter the third version of you, or you are in the third version of you, the best version of you. You're healing and or have healed. You're reaching the pinnacle, that mountaintop of indifference where you're leaving the past in the past and you're living your best life. I know it's a lot to unpack, but that's my hope. My hope is that's where you are, or you are headed towards, because it's nothing but abundance and beauty for you when you put the narcissistic relationship in the past, but you learn the lessons from it. So why were you the last to know? I'll tell you, because you weren't ever supposed to figure it out, but you did. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.